Okay, here we go. Weird or hard / math problems from previous tests. This is going to be pages 11 through 15. Okay, these kinds of problems right here, what you need to do is you need to take a look at the three denominators. We've got a 4, 4x, and 2x. The lowest common denominator, the smallest number that all of these will divide into, is 4x. So whatever's in the denominator, there's an x in the denominator, there's a 4 in the denominator, and there's a 2. Well, in a 4 is a 2, so that's okay, and we have to have an x. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and multiply each of these fractions by 4x. What this does is it gets rid of all the denominators and allows us just to solve a problem without fractions. This 4 cancels with that 4, leaves us 3x. This 4x cancels with this 4x, and I'll distribute this negative. There's nothing left there. So it equals negative x minus 11. The x's cancel, and 2 goes into 4 twice. So that leaves us plus 2. I'm going to add this 4x, or this x over, and I get 4x equals negative 9. Divide by 4, divide by 4, and I get x equals negative 9 over 4. I would test this one just to check to make sure, because this is such an odd number, and you might think, oh my god, oh my goodness, I did it wrong. So, I'll check it. It's pretty easy to check. We'll just come over here, we're going to store negative 9 fourths into x. So control division, negative 9 over 4. Well, that's weird. I must have pressed minus instead of negative. That was stupid. Negative 9 fourths. So, x. Enter. And now I'm going to type it in. I don't know what it was. 3/4 equals control division 3 3/4 equals, and it's another control division negative parentheses x plus 11 all over 4x plus control 1 divided by 2x. And that's true. So we're good. Good check. Alright, intersection. The word intersection just means what they have in common. And actually, it means, in this case, what all three circles, A, B, and C, I think there's probably a C down here somewhere. And the only thing that all three of them have in common is this center part right here. So the answer is 2. Just 2. Alright, that was pretty easy. Page. Alright, so when you express this, now the whole trick to this whole thing is you already have a common number. The trick to this whole thing is you get this minus that you need to distribute. So it's really going to be 2 plus x over 5x plus, and then we're going to distribute that minus negative x plus 2 all over 5x. That negative to this x makes, this negative to this x makes negative, and a negative and a negative makes a positive 2. So what I have here is these x's are going to actually, these x's are actually going to cancel out. So it leaves me oops, forgot to x. It leaves me 4 over 5x. And of course, you can use the stow feature and check that one and make sure it's right, but it is. Alright, GB equals 4.6. I'm going to do this trying to make this a little bit more difficult. Let's just get this bigger. GB equals 4.6. MH equals 6. So this is a rectangle, so this is 6. And HT is 15. So if I remember correctly, the area of the shaded region, MBATH, area of the shaded, which is all of this, is equal to the area of the large shape, which in this case is the rectangle, minus the area of the small shape, which is the triangle. So the area of the rectangle is equal to length times width, which is equal to 6 times 15. That's 90. And then the area of the triangle, I'm going to have to actually do on a calculator, is equal to 1/2. Now this base, 15, is also the base here. So base, which is 15, times the height, which is 4.6. And that's equal to 34.5. So if I take the 90, and subtract out the 34.5, I get 55.5. That's the answer. Alright. Okay, B is a subset of U. So all this means is that 2's in there, 3's in there, 5's in there, and 6's in there. So 2's in there, 3's in there, 5's in there, and 6's in there. What is the complement? So, what are the ones that aren't here? Well, 1, 4, 7, 8. Choice 3. What is the equation that passes through these 2 points? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Slope really is not going to make a difference. It doesn't even make a difference if I make slope, because all these things have slope of 2 7. So really what we just need to do is plug one of these points in. It doesn't really matter which one we plug in. We actually got to plug it into both points into the equation. So let's see here. Here I'm going to do 8. Oh, that was a big mistake already. Because the x is 5, so I'll do 5 plus 1 equals 2 over 7, 8 plus 3. Well, 8 plus 3 is 11. And if I do 2 7s times 11s, I get 3.14, which is not going to equal 6. So that doesn't make any sense. So that can't be it. Let's try this one. Put in 5 here. So we get 5 minus 5. That's just 0. It's going to equal 2 over 7. 8 minus 8. Well, this is just 0, so this whole side equals 0. So that works. So now I got to try the other one, since you don't have room on one of your erase. So I'll let you look at it. You pause it or rewind it if you need to. Let's try it again. Now I got to check the other point. Oops. Now I'll check the other point. So I'm going to plug a 3 in for y. 3 minus 5. Does that equal 2 over 7? 1 minus 8. Well, 2 minus 5 is negative 2. And this is 2 7ths of negative 7. Well, the 7's cancel, so I'm left with negative 2. So negative 2 equals negative 2. The other thing you could have done on each one of these, so let me just show you another thing you could have done. And I'm going to show you on this one in particular because since this is the right answer. The other thing you could have done on this one is to bring the 5 over. So you get y equals 2 over 7, x minus 8 plus 5. Now I can't add that 5 to the 8 because the 8's in the parentheses. And graph this. So we're going to graph that, and we're going to look to see if these 2 points are in the table. So we'll go to home, go to graphing, and we'll type in control division 2 divided by 7, parenthesis, x minus 8 plus 5. And we'll graph that. Straight line. And we'll look at the table. Menu 7. And we need to see if 1, 3 is in there. 1, 3 is in there. And the other one we need to see is, was it 5, 8? I forgot what it was. 8, 5. 8, 5. And there it is, 8, 5. So we've got both points in there. So that's another easy way to do that problem. It's page 12, page 13. Alright, so when doing problems like this, you actually have to break it up into 2 problems. 45, a to the 4th, b cubed, over 15, a squared b, minus 90, a cubed b, all over 15, a squared b. I'm going to do is I'm going to change colors. In testing, you can change colors too. Use black and blue. Have a black pen and have a blue pen, and do these problems in black and blue. 15 goes into 45 3 times. The numerator has more a's, it has 2 more a's, so we'll leave 2 up there. And the numerator has 2 more b's, so we'll lose 2 b's up there. So what I'm left with here is, I'm going to write it right now, 3a squared, b squared, minus. 15 goes into 96 times. There's 1 more a, so I'll leave 1 up there. And the b's cancel. So I'm left with minus 6a. Now that's your answer. Now again, I'm not going to do it because it takes too much time. You can take like 2 and stow it into A, and 3 and stow it into B. Type this in. Type this in. If you get the same result, you got the right problem, right answer. I also typed in a 1,200-word essay in 25 minutes. At this rate, how many words can you type in 45 minutes? So this is just a simple ratio. 1,200 minutes, 1,200 words, 25 minutes. How many words can you type in 45 minutes? Just cross multiply. So 1,200 times 45 equals 54,000 equals 25x. Now let's think about it. It's going to be almost, not quite twice this, so it should be like 22 or 2,300. 21 words per minute. Could just circle this. Alright, here we go. Simplifying radicals. First thing I'm going to do, this is question 33, so it's just a 2-point question. First thing I'm going to do is get the stupid answer. Call it the stupid answer, because if you do it, I might have to be mean to you. The stupid. Okay, it's really stupid to be able to misspell stupid. The stupid answer is negative 20.7846. Now this is just typed in your calculator. This gets you no points. As a matter of fact, this gets you harassment for the next 3 years of your life. Sorry, drinking a little bit of coffee. Now, to get points on this problem, I can do that. Stretch with my fingers. So cool. So, negative 3. I gotta find the perfect square that goes into 48. So, cut it in half, it's 24. First perfect square under 24 is 16, then 9, then 4, then 1. 1 we don't care about. And if you divide, you'll find out that 16 goes in. So we do 16 times 3. What is the square of 16? It's 4. Now this is all multiplication, so what we get here is negative 12 Square root of 3. That's what I think my answer is. So if I type that into my calculator, negative 12 square root of 3. Oh, look at that. This also gives me that same result. Alright, here we go. Find the volume in cubic centimeters and the surface area in square centimeters of the rectangular prism. Okay, so this is easy. Volume is equal to length times width times height. So that's 10 times 2 times 4. That's 8 times 10, which is 80. So 80. So it's a little more trickier. But the formula, there's a formula. I'm going to do it without the formula, but I'm going to write down the formula. It's 2 length widths plus 2 length heights. It's on your formula sheet, plus 2 width heights. And you can just plug these in. You know, call this the length, call this the width, call this the height. Plug them in. But I'm just going to do this. This is 8, and there's 2 of those, so that's 16. The front, which is 4 by 10, is 40, and there's 2 of those, so that's 80. And the top, which is 10 by 2, is 20, and there's 2 of those, so that's 40. So that's 120, 136. So those are 2 answers. Surface area equals 136, and volume is equal to 80. Alright, page 14. A little trig. As soon as I see this angle? Some old horse caught another horse taking boats away. To the height of the nearest foot, the balloon directly above the ground. So we're looking for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is label hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. The only 2 I care about are these. So O and H, and I'm using sine. So sine of 50 degrees is equal to x over 110. Now they were nice on this one. Wow, this is a question 39. There must be more to it than this. Okay, so I cross multiply and get x equals 110 times sine 50. Go to my calculator. And I go back to the calculator. And I type in 110 times sine 50. What's 50, right? Enter. Oh, this stupid calculator. I don't know why it does that. I have to put in this 50.0 for it to work. Okay, 84.2649. X equals 84.2649 to the nearest foot. So X equals 84 feet. It's got to be more of this problem than this. It's 39. The ground on the ground between the 2 ropes. Okay, so this is the ground over here. So now we're looking for adjacent. So for adjacent, that's adjacent and hypotenuse, we're going to use cosine of 50 degrees is equal to, we'll call this y. Y over 110. And we still cross multiply. So y equals 110 times cosine 50 degrees. That in my calculator. 110 cosine 50 decimal point. And that's 70.7066. I equals 70.70, forgot already, 66. So, and this one said to the nearest foot as well, so y equals 70. Oops. Y equals 71 feet. Alright, on the last page. Okay, Okay, so here we go. Let me blow this up so you can see this again. Okay, we've done this a few times this year. Let me rewrite this equation. 2 over 3x plus 3 less than negative 2x minus 7. So what you want to do is multiply everything through by the common denominator. Well, the only denominator is 3, so we're going to multiply everything by 3. These 3's cancel, which is why we're doing this. So we get 2x plus 9 less than negative 6x minus 21. Never want to have a negative x, so we add the 6x, add the 6x, and I get 8x on this side. And then I'm going to subtract 9, I get less than negative 30. I put these two together. I divide by 8, and I divide by 8, and I get x less than negative 30 over 8, which really doesn't help me because these are numbers, and I got to figure out which of these numbers, if any of them, work. So I need that as a decimal. So if I type that in my calculator, negative 30 divided by 8 decimal point, I get negative 3.75, right? Yep. So x is less than negative 3.75. Well, there's only one number in this set that is less than negative 3.75. So my answer is negative 12. Notice I put it in curly brackets too. A reasonable line of best fit. I'm going to try to use a straight edge. Oh, looks like a pretty good line of best fit. What do you think? So I need the equation of that line. No, I don't need the equation of that. Using the line of best fit, predict whether Megan and Bryce will reach the goal of the 18th month. What do we do to read this problem? So let me highlight it out. Megan and Bryce will reach their goal. Their goal is to reach a profit of $20,000 in 18 months. Tailor the scatter plot. Okay, for the first 12 months. Okay, so what we have here then is they only got the data for 12 months. And you've got to extrapolate, which means go beyond. Extrapolate means to go beyond. Interpolate means to do what stuff's inside. Interpolate, extrapolate means you're going to go on the exterior. So they're at 18 months. Well, my goal is $20,000. $20,000 will be up here somewhere. So I need to get to this point right here. And I want to do it by 18 months. So I got to do it by here. At 18 months, it looks like I might only be at about 13,000. And if I keep extrapolating, it looks like it might take to about 26 months maybe out here. So this is all good work out here. Really, this is all you need to show is that the 18 months would only yield us about $13,000. So your answer is no, they will not reach their goal of $20,000 by 18 months. According to the graph, according, just like that, the graph, they will be at